Hello, happy students. Today our topic is computer networks, and this is computer network part 11, and this is the last part regarding to computer networks of your syllabus. So let's start first. There are some terminology which is which may be asked in your examination. So URL, all of you are very much aware to all these terms, but since these are the part of your syllabus, so here I take a quick revision of all these terminologies. URL. URL basically refers for Uniform Resource Locator, and a URL is a formatted text string used by web browser, email clients, and other software to identify a network resource on the network. And network resources are filters that can be plain web pages, other text documents, graphics, or programs. A URL string consists of three parts. This is very important: network protocol, host name or address, or file or resource location. So this is a syntax of URL. You can easily see that these substrings can be separated by special character as follows: protocol, then host, and then location. Protocol, host, and location, host name or address. You can easily see that HTTP is a protocol. There may be some other protocol. These are FTP, go for telnet, etc. And then domain name, this is domain name here. Port number, it is optional, may or may not be a part of URL. And then path to the file, this is a file, and this is the path to the file. File name is file.html. So there may be a path to a file from one folder to another, from one web page to other. So this is the path here. This is the URL format. Always remember that URL format consists basically only three parts: protocol, host, and location. And what is URL? URL basically uniform resource locator. Uniform resource locator. Basically it is the address of a web page on internet. Next is World Wide Web. World Wide Web is a system of interlinked hypertext document accessed by the internet, and with a web browser, a user view web pages that may contain text, images, and other multiple, and navigates between them using hyperlinks. The World Wide Web are created in 1989 by the Englishman Sir Tim Berners-Lee and the Bulgarian Robert Cailliau, working at CERN Particle Physics Laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland. So what is World Wide Web? It is basically a system of interlinked hypertext document accessed by the internet. Simplest definition of World Wide Web. System of interlinked hypertext documents accessed by the internet is called the World Wide Web. There is another definition of World Wide Web: the complete set of electronic documents stored on computers that are connected over the internet and are made available by the protocol known as HTTP. Means hypertext transfer protocol. What are the protocols? Protocol are basically the rules and regulations used by internet to access different web pages. HTTP is one of them. Hypertext transfer protocol. And the complete set of electronic documents stored on a computer that are connected over the internet and are made available by the protocol known as HTTP. The World Wide Web. The World Wide Web, or simply known as web, consists of a worldwide collection of electronic documents. And electronic documents are also called as web pages. So the World Wide Web or web consists of a worldwide collection of electronic documents or web pages, and the website is a collection of related web pages and associated items. A web server is a computer that delivers requested web pages to your computer. So there are four important points here. And Web 2.0 refers to a website that provides a mean for user to interact. So web server may be asked in your examination. Also define web server. So web server is a computer that delivers requested web pages to your computer. Simplest definition. And World Wide Web is a web consists of a worldwide collection of electronic documents, also known as web pages. Next is VoIP, also known as Voice over Internet Protocol, and sometimes full form is also asked. So remember that Voice over Internet Protocol. VoIP is also referred to as IP telephony, internet telephony, and digital phone. So it is known as IP telephony, internet telephony, and digital phone. In multiple choice question, it may be asked that which of them refers to IP telephony, and suppose VoIP is one of the answer, then you tick VoIP. And VoIP is basically a telephone connection over the internet. This is the simplest definition of VoIP here. VoIP basically the telephone connection over the internet. The data is sent digitally using the internet protocol IP instead of analog telephone lines. This allows people to talk to one another long distance and around the world without having to pay long distance or international phone charges. So digital telephony, that's why it is called the digital telephony. People can also connect to each other, and using this they cannot pay international they may not pay international phone charges because they use voice over internet protocol. And in order to use VoIP you need to a computer. Requirement of or to use VoIP you need to a computer, second an internet connection, and a VoIP software. Three important things are required: computer, internet connection, and VoIP software. You also need either a microphone or analog telephone adapter or VoIP telephone. Many VoIP programs allow you to use a basic microphone and speaker setup. Other require VoIP phones, which are likely which are like regular telephone handset, but typically connect to your computer via USB. So these are the requirement of VoIP. Simple requirement is VoIP, the computer, internet connection, and a VoIP software. It is the simplest VoIP. And second is, so this is all about VoIP, voice over internet protocol, and this is a very important topic, and asked so many number of times in our board examination that what is VoIP. So just write the full form, and it is asked only in one or two points marks. So just write the full form, and two to 4 points are sufficient to elaborate the concept of VoIP. I think first of all you write the full form, and then you can write this is the first form VoIP. Then second thing you can write, it is also known as IP telephony, internet telephony, or digital phone. And third point is VoIP, basically connection of over the internet. And fourth is requirement. And if you have sufficient time, then you can write this point. This is also the data is sent digitally. Basically this tells the functioning of VoIP. So the package is complete as far as VoIP is concerned. So all these 5 points may be, these 5 points should be answer of your answer when VoIP is asked, whenever VoIP is asked. Next is web page and websites. you all of you are very aware to all these terms, web page and website. So let us take a difference between web page and website. Web page is a part of the website which comprises links to other web pages. So in web pages are basically connected to each other, and website is a cluster of related web page address to a typical URL. So for a particular website there is a typical URL, and website is a collection of different web pages, and web pages are connected to each other through different links. Next point regarding to presented by web pages presented by multiple web pages can have the same name if they resides in different documents. If they resides in different document, important point is that. And for website are presented by a unique URL. So URL is always unique, and websites are represented using URL. Web pages, it is the content that is to be displayed on a website. It is the content that is to be displayed on a website. And for web pages uses, website is a place used to display the content. Next, fourth point, extension. The web page URL has an extension, and website, there is no extension used in the URL of a website. And fifth and last important point, address dependency. Web page's address depends on website, but website address does not rely on web pages addresses. So these are the 5 important points regarding to web page and website, and they may be asked in your examination also. Next is a static web page or dynamic web page. This is also in your syllabus. Static web page and dynamic web page. Static means never changing, but dynamic means changing. So that tells the whole story about static web page and dynamic web page. Static sites are mean for those sites that cannot be changed or updated regularly, that are called the static sites. And dynamic sites are those sites that are changes or updated regularly. A static site is a website that is written entirely using HTML. This is very important. A static site is a website that is written entirely using HTML, and dynamic website is written using more complex code such as PHP or ASP, active server page, has a greater degree of functionality. And each web page is separated document, and there is no database or external files that are drawn upon. And in dynamic, each web page of a dynamic website is generated from information stored in a database or external files. So this is the difference between a static web page and dynamic web page. Next is website versus web portal. There are again 2 important points, website and web portal. Comparison between website and web portal. Basic of website, it is location on the internet, usually accessed through an URL. And portal, it provides single point of access where the traffic is limited to the right set of users. So there are limited users in portal, but website, internet usually accessed through an URL. It is a location and everyone can access an website. Features, owned by an organization, and they are basically, web portals are user centric. Interaction, for website, user cannot interact with a website, and portal, there is a two-way communication between user and portal. Property, website, for website, not necessarily a knowledge domain, but for web portal act as the gateway to the specific knowledge domain. And last point regarding to the management, seldom updation of the information sources as far as website is concerned, and for web portal, regular updation of information sources. This is the difference between website and a web portal. Next topic is web browser. A web browser is a software application that enables a user to display and interact with HTML document hosted by web server or held in a file system. So this web browser is the software application. And what is the work of web browser? It basically enables a user to display and interact with HTML document hosted by the web server or held in a file system. According to the another perspective, it is a graphical tool designed to read HTML document and access the World Wide Web is called the Internet browser. So both you can write both definition if definition of web browser is asked in your examination. So this is the complete package. Definition next is definition of web server. A web server is a computer that runs website, and it is a computer program that distribute web pages as they are requested. The basic objective of the web server is to store, process and deliver web pages to the user, and this intercommunication is done using hypertext transfer protocol, means HTTP. And these web pages are mostly static content that includes HTML documents, images, style sheets, text, etc. Apart from HTTP, a web server also supports SMTP. SMTP is another protocol known as Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and FTP, File Transfer Protocol, for emailing and for file transfer and storage. So that is the basic definition of web server. First of all, remember first point, a web server is a computer that runs website, and as per the request, program are distributed, program that distributed web pages is also known as web server. And use different protocols. Hypertext is one of them. They can web server use SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and FTP, File Transfer Protocol, for emailing and for file transfer and storage. Next is cookies. This is the last topic of a syllabus. Cookies. Cookies are the small text files on your computer storing small pieces of information related to your online habits. So cookies are the smaller text files on your computer storing small pieces of information related to your online habits. And there are three different types of cookies, basically two different types of cookies, but there is a term known as super cookies also used most of the time. So here there is a discussion of super cookies here, or a simple definition of super cookies here. So we can write types of cookies as first party cookies and third party cookies. First, the first party cookies, these are the cookies that store your own login ID, password, autofill information, etc. from some website that you frequently visit. So first of all, what are cookies? Cookies are basically small text files in our computer systems, small text files. And what is the use of this small text file? They basically store information related to your online habits. So first party cookies basically store your login ID, your password and your autofill information for the website that you frequently visit. Next is third party cookies. These are the cookies that website store to know about your search history, and web browsing history, so as to place advertisement as per your interest. This is the basic aim. Basically they store your search history and web browsing history, and the objective is to place advertisement as per your interest. So this is the basic objective of third party cookies. So now we can say that the difference between first party cookies and third party cookies. First party cookies basically store login ID, password and autofill information, of some website that you frequently visit. But third party cookies basically store your search history and web browsing history to place advertisement as per your interest. And next is super cookies. What is super cookies? Super cookies are basically the persistent cookies. That means we cannot delete data of super cookies, and if we delete data of super cookie, it is come back and even after you delete them. So if you delete the data of super cookies, the data is come back, and you are not able to delete data of super cookies. So that's why they are called the super cookies. Data cannot be deleted in super cookies. So first party cookies and third party cookies. First party cookies, login ID, password required. Third party cookies, search history and data is stored because to show the advertisement as per your habits. And super cookies, these are the persistent cookies. And the definition cookies is small text files stored in a computer, and information stored related to your online habits. So this is the definition of cookies. So this is the last topic, cookies. Now regarding to your syllabus, few important things I have to say. First of all, as far as computer network syllabus is concerned, these are the simple definition, and most probable one of them is asked, at least one of them is asked in your examination, whether it is a cookies or web server, web portal, or a website. Whatever we discuss in this chapter definitely will be asked in your examination. Second important thing is regarding to the numerical, which we discussed in our previous lecture. So there is a numerical, or there is always a numerical in your examination, which is we can say that it is not a type of numerical, but basically it is simply a application based question in which we have to solve 4 different problems. So first part is related to server room, second part is related to cable layout, third part is related to basically LAN WAN type of network, or type of network devices, and fourth part is related to um, guided media or unguided media, means cables or connection by which you can connect two different stations or two different buildings or two different cities to each other. So this type of question are always asked, and that is a 4-mark question. And in this part, total number of network type of question network is of 10 marks, out of which 4 mark is of application based question, that is already discussed in our previous lecture. If you don't watch it till now, if you are then go to that lectures, that is network computer network part 10 and 11, and 10, 11, 12. This is network computer network part 13. And next is 3 other important things say there. Network topology. There is always a question regarding to network topology, and it is of 2 marks. Then it may be asked in examination, network devices. So learn all the uses of network devices. And then transmission media. And transmission media, there are 2 types of media, guided and unguided. And you can learn all of these. So these are the 3 important topics. Definitely question will be asked regarding to these topics. And so I think, as far as my assumption is there, I think 4 marks application based question, 2 marks concept, 6 marks, and out of this 4 marks transmission media, network devices, or topology, 4 mark question is also there. So total 10 marks of question will be asked in your examination. So before going to end this chapter and unit and our syllabus, let us take a quick revision of all these points which we discuss in this lecture. First of all, uniform resource locator known as URL. Full form is maybe asked in your examination. Always remember URL stands for uniform resource locator. It is a address of a website. Next is, and always remember the syntax of this: protocol, host, and location. This is diagram. If asked in examination, this diagram or this representation, if you mention this representation, then full marks will be given. Next is World Wide Web. World Wide Web is a system of interlinked hypertext document accessed via the internet. Next is a website. It is a collection of related web pages. Web server, it is a computer that delivers requested web pages to your computer. Web 2.0, it refers to the website that provide a means for the user to interact.